Hey and welcome, I'm Hammeh. Here's a quick Overwatch news roundup for you for the last few days, as well as a little bit of channel news as well. The Overwatch team's first team and franchise name is announced, along with a potential first eSports skin. We look into that. Lynx 17 from the Zarya comic identifies as a they, and a quick reminder on omnic genders. October is nearly here, could we see Halloween announced or even out next week? And a little bit of fun from Jeff on the Dropship pilot's name. A little bit of Hammeh news to finish up. I'm launching a new series on the channel on Sunday. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what games you'd like to see featured on it. As always, timecodes in the description below if you'd like to skip to different pieces of news. First up, the Overwatch League, Blizzard's huge international Overwatch competition that's being launched later this year, has its first team name and brand identity. Now NetEase, the Chinese company that distributes Blizzard games in China, is the first out of the door. The Shanghai Dragons are going to be Overwatch's first named team. Now the dragon and the colour red, of course, very important and significant in Chinese history and culture. Dragons, of course, symbolising potent and auspicious powers, and the colour red symbolising luck, amongst other things. It's a good combination for a Chinese branded team. Now, as part of the Overwatch League announcement, we saw the logo as well as this snazzy red and kind of yellow Mei skin. Now, chances are this could well be an example of an eSports skin that Blizzard has talked about in the past. When the first teams of the Overwatch League were announced, it said that Overwatch players would be able to support teams by special in-game items, and 50% of the revenues from these items will go into a shared pool to be split amongst the teams, to help fund the team sustainably and keep the league going for years to come. So stay tuned for perhaps another 11 skins like this, if this is one of them, as we look at the first 12 teams in the Overwatch League from December later this year. Now, I wonder if these are going to be direct purchase somehow, like the model in other games, rather than randomly being found in boxes. Using credits to buy these would be a little bit clunky. The alternative, of course, is that an eSports crate is made available, and this has been done in other games, with a chance of getting the skins in there. How would you feel about spending money directly on an Overwatch skin rather than crates or specific eSports crates? Overwatch League Season 1 is being played out at the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles, and all teams are going to be based there for the first season, before a local focus, as teams have to have presence in home cities from Season 2. Now London of course has a brand, Korea also of course has a brand, as well as a bunch of American cities and Shanghai in China. To get people around the world enthused, it's going to be necessary to get teams tied to their local franchise. I'm excited for London. Cloud9 has got the London slot, although their lineup is all Korean Kongdu Panthera right now. If you're not into esports so far, do try out the Overwatch League later this year. It's going to be pretty big and a spectacle, I think. NRG, who are going to be representing San Francisco, went out of the gate announcing their roster with none other than Shaq and J-Lo in a trail, as well as Marshawn Lynch. I think most people know Shaq around the world. Marshawn Lynch from American football might be more of an American star, but I think most people know J-Lo too. So it goes to show how big people are trying to make Overwatch League, as well as the kinds of people who are actually investing. I mean, Shaq is invested in NRG, for example. So I'm going to be really interested to see how this first season goes. Next up, Lynx 17 identifies as they. Now Michael Chu, lead writer on Overwatch, took to Twitter to clarify that Lynx 17 would prefer to be called they as a pronoun and is gender neutral. Now I called them a he in my comic analysis vid before this clarification was tweeted, so my bad on that. I've corrected it in the pinned comment. It has been a little bit of a jumble in the past. As a quick reminder, Zenyatta refers to himself as male, Bastion has been confirmed in a tweet as genderless, Orisa is referred to by the Overwatch dev team in most videos as a she, probably because of her creation by Efi, and Lynx 17 is them or they. Awesome that these things are clarified so we don't have to assume, and of course it's great to see more representation in Overwatch. Next up, well, it's almost the end of September. October is nearly on us, how time flies, which means that Halloween Terror is going to be coming back. Now this event launched in the first week of October last year, ran for 3 weeks. I'm wondering if we're going to get some news next week. We will of course get Junkenstein's Revenge, maybe with a few tweaks, as well as all of the old Halloween skins, and I can't wait to see what new Halloween skins might be turning up. Remember, of course, BlizzCon 2017 is the first weekend of November. Check out this channel for any coverage of what's going to be coming from that. Given that Blizzard like to run an event for 3 or so weeks, I expect we're going to be hearing something about Halloween sooner rather than later. What would you like to see skin-wise? Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. Finally, a little dropship joke. Now, the big philosophical question, of course, who pilots the dropship on the control maps? Well, Jeff Kaplan took to the boards to say Ray. Take that as the joke that it's meant to be, but I'm sure there's some Ray fan art already out there. Prizes if you can link me to any on Twitter at FailCraft Casts. Last but not least, my little bit of channel news. Now, I've asked you guys a whole bunch about what you'd like to see on the channel going forward. More Overwatch lore, Blizzard game lore, trying some Overwatch gameplay videos, and also one of the things you said were impressions, reviews, and insights into games I enjoy or am playing besides Overwatch. So expect more of all of those in the coming weeks and months ahead. And as a heads up, I'm going to try a new series on the channel from this Sunday. This will be uploaded every Sunday for the next few weeks, and after that, we'll work out whether they should stay here between us, or if you like them somewhere else, maybe I'll start a new channel with them. It's going to be a combination of things. things. Some are going to be first impressions and reviews. So these are newer games I've been playing that I like or I am trying with a first impression, how I find them so far, and then I'll follow that up with a review afterwards after I've got through them. The other kind of thing I'll try will be retrospectives. These are more sort of looking back, almost documentary style, sharing games I've enjoyed and played or still play, looking more at their gaming significance, how they've stood the test of time or not, my relationship with them as a player, and stories I've made and told in them. Now, I'm still trying to think of a name for these two series, although a first impression is going to be out this Sunday. Any clever names or puns on Hammeh you may have to do with first thoughts, first impressions and similar, or a retrospective series, do pop them in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Cheers for tuning in. What do you think of the potential Mei skin? Are you going to be watching the Overwatch League as well? Do give it a go in December. And are there any games you'd like me to cover either in terms of first impressions coming up? I am taking a look at Divinity Original Sin 2 and Destiny, you guys have requested, as well as retrospectives on games I've enjoyed. Anything you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. Thanks for your support, guys. Really, really appreciate it. I've been Hammeh. Take it easy.